What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, a comic book novice, aka Controled, aka yeah, like the title says, man, I got my first Omni. Now I was like debating on whether to jump into Omnibus collecting, just because like I have an iPad, and like if I really want, and it's a pretty big screen, so if I really want the oversized art, I can just get it on the iPad. But you know, it is just not the same as holding the book in your hands and really just feeling like turning the pages will always be better than scrolling on a screen. We all know that. But yeah, without further ado, my first Omni is Batman, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Volume 1. It's kind of a funny story about how I got this book and what led up to me deciding to buy this one as my first Omni, and just everything that went into it. First off, I want to give a shout out to Hero Headquarters, the owner, pretty sure he's the owner, Jim. He has been really helpful to me since I getting back into comics, as far as answering questions and just helping me pick out cool stuff to read, and just generally giving me some advice. I doubt he'll see this, but you know, you never know. So thank you, Jim, and thank you, Hero Headquarters. But yeah, let's get right into the story. I originally picked up the first trade paperback that has the issues, the 1 through 6 or 7, I think it is. I actually have it right here. As I reached for the book, I knocked over the camera, so technical difficulties. But yeah, as I was saying, I originally picked up this trade right here because I had heard a lot about the Court of Owls and everything, and like the just this run in general by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. And I just heard that it's really good. I've been wanting to read it for a while, but this is one of those ones because I have the DC Universe app, so I could have just read it on there. But this is one of those ones where I just really felt that I needed to have my hands on it to read it. And I saw this in the shop. It was not that much at all. They weren't even charging cover price for it. I'm pretty sure it was like $8 where I got this. I got it from kind of like a secondhand bookstore that we have here in my area. And I picked this one up, and I read through the first issue, and I saw that cover right there, and that just like snapped into my brain. I was like, hey, I think they have a copy of that Omni over at Heroes Headquarters. And I'm not sure if I've said this on the channel before, but like, I don't mind ordering things online, but if I can just go to a store, pay for it, have it in my hands right when I pay the money, and just take it home right then, that's the way I prefer to do things. But you can't really do that with everything. But as I was saying, I read through the first issue of this and just absolutely loved it. So I completely stopped reading. Like, I didn't even finish this trade because I knew I wanted to get the Omni. So I was like, you know, I'll just save all of the reading for that story for when I get the Omni. Fast forward to today, Black Friday. I go to Hero Headquarters, and they still have it. I wasn't really surprised because they've had this book on the shelf since I've been going back, and I'm pretty sure I went in there about 6 months back to just pick up some posters, I think for my little brother's birthday, and I saw this there, I'm pretty sure, because I remember seeing this cover. So I was thinking to myself, like, he's obviously not having much luck selling this to anybody, and I found it for cheaper online. But like I said, I'd rather pay for it and have it right then. Plus, you know, you gotta support your local comic shop, man. You gotta buy things there when you can. Just because, like, if we all start buying stuff online all the time for all of our purchases, comic stuff's gonna go out of business. And I'm not saying that my one purchase of this book kept them in business, but it's kind of how I rationalized it in my head, so I didn't feel bad about spending the money. But yeah, I went in there. I just talked to the owner. I said, hey man, I really want to get this book. I found it for cheaper online. I noticed you guys are still paying or charging cover price for it. Would you be willing to work with me on the price? Because I would rather spend the money here in your shop, because this is my go-to place for comics. And he was real cool. He asked to see where I found it cheaper online, and I actually showed him 2 listings. I showed him Amazon, which was like dirt cheap compared to cover price, and the organic price books listing, which was about I think it was $85. So I told him, like, hey man, like I don't expect you to come down to 85, but like, can we meet in the middle? Could you have some wiggle room? And he said he would come down to 100, and I said, well, how about, or no, originally he came down to like 110. I was like, hey man, like, you're not selling this. Like, it's been like, I want to spend the money in the shop, but you're not selling this. Like, it's been in the shop forever. Like, meet me a little bit closer. So I asked him for 90, and he came down to 100, and we settled at that. Like, well, I paid what was it, like, he came down to like 92, just because like after taxes that made it 100, which was really cool. And so we both left the table probably like a little bit feeling like we got a little bit ripped off, but also feeling a little bit happy. So I think that's the mark of a good deal. Mark of a good deal is like when both sides feel like they got a little bit ripped off. But yeah, he made the experience really easy. Like, we just chatted for about 10 minutes, and then I ended up walking away with this bad boy. I've heard some things about this Omni. Mainly the binding, the spine, is a real big problem for a lot of people. There's a lot of, what is the term? Gutter loss, I think it is. You know, like when you open it, and the inside of the pages, like you have to like really like lay them flat and like stretch them out, like just so like you can see what's on the inner part of the page. But I've looked up a few videos about how to really stretch this book out in particular, and I'm not too worried about it, man. Like, I think I'll be able to get my money's worth out of this book. I'm really excited to read all this stuff. I've never read anything other than the first issue that was collected in here, so I'm really excited to read this. I've heard it's a really good run of Batman, and yeah, man, I'm happy with the purchase. As far as Omnis go, the next one I get will probably be from organic price books, just because I want to see because I've heard that their shipping and handling and everything, and the way they pack the books is really great, and it eases a lot of people's stress of ordering things online, because I've heard Amazon is not the best place to buy books, surprisingly, because that's how they started, was selling books, and nowadays they forgot the roots, so they're not really giving a shit when it comes to packaging. But I've heard that is definitely not the case with OPB. Heard they package them really well and they ship them really quick. I'll probably wait till after the holidays, just because I feel like they're probably swamped right now, and I don't want to have to wait too long. But you know, who knows? Might got a wild hair and just decide to pull the trigger on something else, because there are a few other Omnis that I have my eyes on to pick up and read through. I think mostly I'm gonna be collecting DC Omnis to start, because I did pay for the year subscription for Marvel, and I feel like I can't rationalize it in my head to pay for something that I've already paid for, essentially. Like any Marvel Omni, essentially I could just read it on the app, because I have access to it for the next year. So yeah, man, as you can see, it's still sealed and everything. I'm curious actually, because I heard that the second printing of this book, it wasn't so bad with the spine. Like, it wasn't as bad as the first printing, but as I look at it, like, I've heard that like the spine is really flat on the first printings, and this is definitely flat, so I'm thinking this is a first printing. But I am going to take it out of the wrap, give this baby a nice stretch, and then we will update you from there. See how I got the old eye looking once we get this baby stretched out. You know what? I got it out the package and I thought, why not just record my first reactions real quick. And the first part of me stretching this baby out. I mean, if you've been into comics longer than I have, you've probably already seen reviews of this book. It's not a new book. In fact, the volume 2 of this is about to come out. I really like this, man. Like this, it's like a matte that they used for the cover, except for like the gloss they used for the Batman lettering and everything. I really dig that spine. That's gonna look good on the shelf whenever it actually gets to the shelf, because I feel like I'm gonna be reading this for a little bit. But yeah, let's pop this bad boy open. Or actually, first let's take off the slip cover and check out the actual hardcover of the book. See what that looks like. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Shout out to Noah. I watched his or Noahverse. Or Omniverse, I think he's known as now. I watched his review or overview of the new Deathstroke Omni that came out not too long ago, and I saw him take the slipcase off, and it just looks so satisfying. And I've been wanting to do that ever since. So shout out to you, Noah. Oh yeah, that is satisfying. That is kind of satisfying right there. But yeah, that's I really like that. The feel of that, the matte. It's pretty cool. But let's check out this actual hardcover. Welcome to Bat Country. And you got Batman on the front. Just the Red Hood gang, I think they're called, or something. He's like going around picking them up. But yeah, that's quite the dramatic change from like the dark grittiness of the slipcover. Like you can see like the back got some dark tones to it, and then of course you got Batman whooping ass on the front, and then you get to the actual hard cover of the book, and it's light, it's light colored, it's fun. Get a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde vibes from this book. You got the dark and the light, you know what I mean. But all right, so this is the first time I'm ever doing this, ever, right here on the channel. So I've heard when you get a new Omni, you're supposed to, let's move some of this stuff out. You can see I'm professional with it when it comes to my workspace. But I've heard you are supposed to put the covers down. Oh, hear that cracking, that glue. Supposed to put them down like that, and then you're supposed to go like a few pages here, let those settle for a second, a few pages on the front, give them a little gentle push, and you just keep doing that, man. And one of the things that really grabbed my attention about this when I picked it up was the art. I really dug the art by Greg Capullo, and like looking at it right here again, like it's some pretty good stuff, man. I'm liking it. I mean, if you've been into comics for any amount of time and been looking at Omni stuff on YouTube, I'm sure you've seen this process a million times. I wasn't originally going to show this part, but I just figured it's the first time I've ever done it, man. So like maybe just put it on there just so I have it for posterity later on. Man, this is really cool. Like, and you can tell like how much bigger this is than compared to this. Like, not just in thickness, but in overall like height, like the dimensions and everything. Like, you can tell. yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one, man. Like, Batman has always been a character that I really liked, but never really read stuff about him, like, before I got really into comics. And now, like, as I read more and more of his stuff, like, the very first thing I really read once getting back into it was Batman Hush. Loved that. So I've been slowly but surely getting more knowledge in for Batman as I get deeper and deeper into the hobby. You know what, man? That's like not too bad. You know, like, maybe this was a second printing, because, like, as I'm looking at it right now, I mean, it's not great, but you can definitely see a little bit of an eye there. Though when I saw the videos of people opening theirs for the first time, like, you saw, like, there was nothing there. So yeah, I might not have to do as much stuff to it as I thought I would. And I know you're supposed to do this a few times. I am not gonna make you guys suffer through that. But I'm gonna stretch this baby out and then get that eye nice and popping, and we will check back. All right, and we are back. Hey, note to self, man, don't stretch out a new omnibus the day that you hit hella curls in the gym and then you work a full shift afterwards. Don't do it the same day. My fucking arms are destroyed after the workout and after work and after doing this, like, son of a bitch. Yeah, check. I think I did a pretty good job, man, for, like, my first time ever stretching one out like this, especially one as, like, glued up as this one is. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe this is a second printing, because, like, it was a task for sure, but, like, it didn't really take as long to get the eye popping as I thought it would. Like, I still went through the whole process that I saw, that I have seen people do, but really it was just to make sure that, like, I covered all my bases. Like, after I got through, like, this, like, step 2 of, like, what I decided to do, because, like, I saw some videos, like, just, like, doing the basic, like, covers down and then flipping through a few times, like, but I did a few other extra stretchings that I think would be good, that I used to do with, like, my novels and shit. But yeah, so but that being said, this is definitely a lot heavier than any book I've ever done those to. Yeah, like, you could tell, like, right away, like, it's touching the table and everything. Let's check this out. The first page stays open pretty good, and then let's get a middle view so you can see that eye pop a little bit. But let's see, like, right there, about middle way. You can see that eye is popping pretty nicely. Like, as far as this middle, like, I really don't see any gutter loss at all, but there's, like, not much in the middle of that anyways. But yeah, I definitely think oh, that's sick. Reduced the amount of gutter loss that I'm gonna have. And a little fun fact, the cover of this issue right here on the right, yeah, on the right, that's actually, like, one of the first covers I saw of the New 52 Batman, like, way back in the day. And I only know that that's the cover of that issue because that, like, my homie sent me a picture of this issue, because he was just talking about what he was reading that week, and I remember seeing that image exactly. Pretty sure that has to do something with Clayface, that issue, or, like, this part of the book. Another tip that I really utilized in this is, like, when you're stretching the whole stuff open so that you don't get spoiled, is to do it with the book facing the opposite direction, so, like, then you can't really read what's going on and everything. But yeah, man, I think I did pretty good. Like I said, I'm really excited to get into this. I got a stack of this week's comics. Like, I've read half of them. Like, I've read these ones. Still got to read these ones. So I'm gonna get through these probably tonight, and then jump right into that. So yeah, First Omnibus checked off the list, and it's a good one, man. It is a good one. Boom. Yeah, I'm happy with it. But alright, guys, that's it for me. Like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, because I got some good stuff coming your way. Like, got a haul video coming up in a few days. Got a My Thoughts On coming, and maybe another episode of the podcast. Who knows? But alright, Comic Book Novice, aka Contralad. I'm out of here.